Hi guys, so today for lecture 11, we're supposed to share a very vivid memory that we can to help enhance our storytelling and enhance our skills as a speaker. Today I'm going to be telling the story, or my vivid memory that I have of when my grandma passed away. So I remember I had driven to work. It was about 6:45 in the morning. I had gone to work pretty early this day, which was rare because I usually take my daughter to daycare in the morning and then I'm stuck in at least half hour of traffic, back to back Bay Area traffic. And I remember getting to work and I looked directly at the clock-in machine and it said 7:15. I usually never look at what time it is before I clock in. I usually just punch in my number and go. But for some reason today I had decided to look at the clock. So after I had clocked in, I went into the break room. It's really ugly, dingy kind of break room, needs to be updated. But I set down my stuff wherever I could. There's always a bunch of lunch boxes on the tables, people crowding at one table. So I put all my stuff down, and I was getting ready to put on my smock and stuff because it was an electronic company that I was working for at the time. And as soon as I'm walking out the door to go onto the floor, I get a call. And I know that it wasn't going to be a good call. I had been waiting for the past 3 weeks because my grandmother was in the hospital. And I had been with her those weeks up until the fact that I had to go back to work. And I knew that once my mom was going to call me, that it most likely had happened. And so I answered the phone, and I can hear her on the other side. And she sounded very serious and kind of just upset. And she had said to me, she took her last breath at 7:15 this morning. We're just waiting here for the mortuary to come pick her up, but she looks very peaceful. Excuse me. And I remember in that moment that I was so shocked because my grandma had lived through dementia and she had gone through so much in her lifetime that the fact that she had passed was really something that was eye-opening to me. It was, I didn't know what to think at the time. She was 89. I was like, she's going to live forever. This lady has gone through so much. She's always been there for us. I was taking care of her since I was like about 6 years old. I honestly really thought she was going to live for such a long time. And so she had passed. I remember the feeling of like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I wish there was more that I could have done. And just being, I feel like as a nurse, you go through like this feeling of guilt that you're like, well, I'm in this profession for this reason. I feel like I should have been able to do more for them. And so I went to go look for my brother because he was working at the same place at the time. And we went outside, and I remember I just started sobbing. I had soaked his smock so much that he was like, oh, I need to go get a new one. And he tried his best to comfort me. He's not very the comforting type, but he was there for me. And I remember that the clock had said 7:15, and I felt in a way that she was there with me at the time. That's why I looked at the clock at 7:15, because she was with me all the way through. And it was just something that I feel like I can never forget. Having the fact that she lived to 89 with dementia and other complications. She had a G-tube. She was on various medications. It was a very big shock seeing her in the hospital. She was going through liver and kidney failure. When that happens, you know that patients get swollen. She was swollen to the fact that where you touched her, you would leave a big indent on her skin. But I remember very vividly that she passed at 7:15 on a Monday morning while I was at work. And it was just one of the hardest things I've been through.